you for joining us today for another episode of the Women with Vision Spotlight Series. I'm Laura Brandao, the chair of Women with Vision, and today I am here with the amazing Stacey Jordan. Stacey, thank you so much for being with us today, and we want to kick it off with that all-important question: what does being a woman with vision means to you?
Well, Laura, when I think about being a woman with vision, first thing that comes to mind is having a community of other like-minded women that allow me to, that provide a safe space for me to express and show up as myself. And whether that's whether I need support via for personal reasons or professional reasons, I have a collaborative group of women that allow me to show up, be myself, and there's support there, right? I think that, in business, oftentimes we're so busy trying to progress our careers forward. Sometimes some of your peers are not always there in your corner, cheering you on or providing you with support. And maybe even say advice that is a benefit to say me, right? But with Women with Vision, it's a community of women that are in business together, and we may not all be in the same type of business, but we're all working hard towards achieving goals or setbacks. And Women with Vision is a safe place for me to tap into resources, gain support professionally. And that's what it's mean to me over the past couple of years.
I love that. And, you said something at the beginning when you started describing it as where you can be yourself. I think we can both agree that sometimes we've gone to, whether it's an event or a networking event or a group or something, and you kind of are there and you think that it should be somewhere you can be yourself. But you kind of get that feeling where you're like, no, I think I need to be guarded. I think I need to kind of put on my mask of whatever I need to be to fit in to this group. I totally agree with you that Women with Vision, that's not the case. Regardless of who you are, regardless of your background, regardless of how you came into the industry, regardless of where you are in your career or from a personal standpoint, everyone is received with open arms to be met at wherever they are at that moment, because it's different for all of us. We're all and it's funny, Stacey and I were having a conversation before we hit record, and we were saying that, we've been in our careers for 20 plus years. And when you are in something, whatever industry you're in, again, you're kind of looking back and you're saying, I want that next challenge. I want that next driving force, right? And we are at the stage that we're looking of that reinventing ourselves all the time, right? And that's just this stage. Now, in another stage, if you were brand new into it, it's like, oh my goodness, there's so much to learn and there's so much for me to get to absorb. And so at that stage, someone like us that are more of the veteran stage, we can then give that lending hand to say, here's a good path for you to follow. Now, what happens there and kind of what happens within Women with Vision is that kind of bringing those gaps together, having someone that's newer with someone that has been through that roadmap already to be able to say, this is noise. You don't have to worry about this. It might seem like a really big deal in your career at this moment. It really isn't. But this, on the other hand, this is something you want to focus in on. So I love that point of being your authentic self, showing up and recognizing that although we're all different, we kind of do have that, of course, common bond of all being women. And that part of it is our foundation. Right?
Yes, I agree. And I think it's unique to have a group of especially women professionals that aren't competing against one another, right? And we truly showing up at whatever capacity to lend whatever support is necessary. So I think that's a key element. And I know that's what I take out of, the time I spend with women.
What a great point. What a great point. never at any moment do you feel that someone is like putting you on the wrong path or
Right.
not giving you the full information because they're trying to
Exactly.
hold back. No, not at all. It's always very open, very caring, very easy to share, getting people sharing their best practices, best
Right.
knowledge and guidance and true what works best for
That's
that
right.
particular situation. Love
Yeah.
it.
And
All
I
right.
think honest and blunt.
Yes.
I'll end with that, right? There's no motivation otherwise. And
Nope.
I find some of the best professional advice I get is within this group.
Yeah, very true, right? You're right because it's not sugar coated necessarily. It
No,
is this is it, and now you don't have to follow the
right.
advice.
Correct.
It's a matter of absorbing it and taking it in, and then doing your own due diligence and kind of collaboration to be able to process that and make your own decision,
That's
which
right.
is
And then
beautiful.
I have one more thing to say.
Of course.
What I also love is the diversification. So a lot of our women are all over the country and they come from so many different backgrounds. And professional backgrounds as well. And so the ability to really understand and learn from one another and seek advice, guidance, or just, or mentor down, so to say, or pull people up. That's also another reason why I love this group and I get so much from it. So
Agreed. Agreed. So leading into our next question, how has 2020 Vision for Success helped you and your business?
it is because of the high level of professional women in our group. And again, it's diverse. It's diverse, but there's a tremendous amount of executives in our group, and women that have accomplished quite a bit in their careers, even if they're not the executive level. I think just by surrounding myself with women that are high achievers, successful, that's I've gained a tremendous amount from just being around a higher level, a higher, caliber. I mean, that's not the right word, but successful, high achieving women.
Yeah.
That has, that has helped me both professionally and personally.
It's funny. Right before this call, I was on a lunch and learn for one of our members of Women with Vision. She had reached out to me and she says to me, "Hey, Laura, question. Will you come on our lunch that we do? They gather around on Wednesdays and they do a little speaker thing. And will you come on and just speak to the ladies and kind of tell them a little bit about your journey in the mortgage career?" And we got on and I get my story, and then each person started sharing their story. And by doing that, people found out things about
Mm.
each other that they hadn't realized. So to your point of being able to learn from many different perspectives, right? From the perspective of the person that went on this path versus another path versus their experiences. I mean, I'll share with you actually a couple weeks ago, I had a lunch with a realtor group that we're going to be doing business with. I have to tell you, Stacey, I haven't sat down with a realtor group in years. I mean, many, many years. And as I sat in this restaurant, listening to their perspective, right? Their
Yes.
perspective, I sat there going, I need to have more perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because here I am. Yes, I know about the industry. I know about what's going on in the market. I read all the time and I listen. But when you're sitting across from that person and you're really hearing what
Mm-hmm.
they're experiencing in that particular market and what they're seeing and what they think is coming, it changes everything.
Yeah, I agree.
And that ties to this too.
I agree. We become very hyper focused in our day to day and what things look like from our seat. We sometimes forget, there's a whole world out there, and there's so much we can still learn. And also, I think that I know that my time is spent with Women with Vision has exposed some areas of weakness in my professional life, which has been kind of fun for me to expose and look at and say, wow, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this one thing, for example.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome that you can
it's kind of
recognize
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there's things that I'm currently working on because I want to improve and be better. And if it wasn't for my time and experience in working with women with vision, I wouldn't have that exposure and perception. So,
Oh, I love that. I love that. And every day we are learning and growing, right?
yeah,
And changing, evolving, right?
that's right.
Every single day. All right. So my final question, Stacey, is what does your vision for Stacey look like?
So my vision for Stacey. So, Laura, that's a loaded question, right? Because we're in the mortgage industry. No, my vision is to continue growing and learning, which I know we touched upon, but in all seriousness, it is. It's to continue surrounding myself with, by other women who I would like to emulate, or I have skill sets that I do not, so that I can learn and grow in those areas. As you know, I've been recently asked to join the executive coaching team at 2020, and that's putting me in a position where I am growing and learning a lot because there's certain aspects of that that I will say, I have to develop certain sales skill or certain skills rather. So, that is, I look forward to continuing down that path. And really at some point, looking around women with vision and other women, and looking to see who I might be able to reach out to and help them in ways that other women have helped me. So I would say, that's what I look forward to.
That's wonderful. And I have to tell you, when I remember reaching out to Christine in 2020, not the company, in the year 2020.
Right,
And I
right.
said to her, I'm like, Christine, now that I'm part of Women with Vision, I said, I think maybe I want to try to coach. I said, I've never done that before. Of course, I've coached many team members within my
Right.
organizations. I said, but I've never, done it from an executive standpoint. And similarly to you, I'm like, it's another challenge. It's
Mm.
something I haven't done before. It's something that, I certainly would love to do. And I remember at first I was like, man, fish out of water almost. But
Mhm.
then you realize you're, yes, you're coaching. Yes. But what you learn from others, I
Right.
think is the biggest benefit of all. I mean, once again, going back to that perspective, I'm able to learn from an originator standpoint what they're going through. I'm able to learn from a realtor standpoint. I'm able to learn from an operations, standpoint. I'm understanding how other companies do certain things, their struggles, their successes, their visions, I mean, meaning the insights of, okay, putting the pieces together to build that efficiency and effectiveness and being able to take people to the highest level that they want to achieve. It's a gift. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm truly grateful for the opportunity, and I know you're going to do amazing. I know you're going to enjoy it. But the beauty of that whole thing is it is a new challenge. It is
Yes.
another thing. And at this stage of our career, again, I'll call it the 20 plusers. When you get to that 20 plus level, that is exactly what we should be doing. We should be helping others achieve those goals, helping, challenging ourselves to continue to grow and push further, right? So
Right.
I'm very happy for you. And I'm happy that, thank you for providing that time to the students, because I know it's going to be beneficial to them. It's also going to be very beneficial to you.
Yeah. I
All
agree.
right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being one of our Women with Vision Board of Directors. We truly appreciate all that you do, and keep shining brightly, Stacey.
Thank you, Laura.